Hello to you, my cosmic dragon friends, and welcome back to another reading. We are here with another pick a card reading. This is a crystal themed reading, as you'll be able to see. I've got 2 crystals for each pile, sat on top of a crystal oracle card. I've also got the Crystal Magic Tarot and gemstone cards to use here as well. So we're going very heavily onto the crystal theme today. And we are asking the question, what do you need to know right now? What is it that your guides want you to know? So there's going to be some really good messages in these readings for everyone. So let me just light our candle over here to start with. As you might be able to see, actually, my little lights here are a little bit brighter than usual because I have swapped out the batteries for an adapter that allows me to plug them in at the mains, so they're a lot brighter. They're looking pretty good. Lighting up Mr. Scullington over here, looking very nice, looking snazzy. Okay, so pile 1, we have this gorgeous piece of red agate here, and we have yellow calcite. Pile 2, I'm trying to remember what this one was called in the shop. It might have been red wine quartz, but it's almost like, to me, it almost looks like blood clots. You know what I mean? So it kind of reminds me of blood. That's probably not what you meant to call it, but anywho. And then we have ruby in Fuschite, which is absolutely adorable crystal. Love that one. Okay, pile 3, we have a black moonstone. Isn't that lovely? I don't think you can see how iridescent it is, but it is. And this must be the iridescent pile because we also have a red tiger's eye. Look at that. Gorgeous. Okay, so take a moment to see which pile resonates most strongly for you. And remember, there could be messages for you in more than one pile. Timestamps are in the description below, and I will see you in your reading. Just before we get on to our readings, just a reminder that there are many ways you can support this channel. You can buy one of my fabulous books. Yes, there's more than one. I talk about this one the most. It's Dream Bigger, How the Law of Attraction Really Works. Very, very useful book. Had some great feedback on this one. Available on Amazon. Something else that you can also get for me, the links are always in the description for these, are my card reading journals. So if you pull yourself a daily card or do yourself a daily reading or weekly reading, you can actually keep track of the readings as you do them. There are prompts in here to help you to do your readings and some instructions at the beginning if you've never done readings before and you need some help with that. So this one is my angel themed one. That's the angel feather. And then we have the tarot themed one with these lovely wolves on the front and the black cat, of course. You can find all of those on Amazon, wherever Amazon is available. My book Dream Bigger, you can also get a PDF version from my website if Amazon isn't in your region or if you'd prefer not to buy from them. You can also buy gifts from my new Neal's Yard Remedies shop because I am an independent consultant for Neal's Yard. They're an amazing company. They sell organic essential oils and essential oils products which are really, really stunning, very, very high quality as well. None of those rubbish ones that shall remain nameless. These are proper therapist grade, therapy quality oils and products, so I can highly recommend those. Again, links in the description below. If you're looking for a Christmas present, I think a lot of the gift sets are currently 25% off, so that's well worth a look if you're in the UK. The books I think will ship worldwide. So on to the readings. Hello pile 1, welcome to your reading. My camera is wonky and my candle is going crazy. I don't know if you can see it over there, it keeps the flames flickering an awful lot for you guys, so clearly your guides are very keen to talk today. So you picked pile 1, which has the red agate crystal and the yellow calcite, which I always think looks like an orange ice lolly, but don't eat it for God's sake. Okay, so something that's interesting about both of these crystals is these both let the light pass through them. So agate, let me just hold it up here. As you can see, this red agate, you can see the light through it. It's not completely opaque. And of course, yellow calcite, you can definitely see the light through there. It's almost like a little pyramid, isn't it, this one? So you've got some pyramid energy coming through here with that very interesting shape. Although with the 3 sides, it's more like a tetrahedron. Yeah, it could be a connection there for somebody. So With these crystals, we are invoking the energy of the root chakra and also the solar plexus chakra. So those two chakras showing up for you, it could be that there's a blockage or a need to work on those chakras. So the root chakra is very much connected to the here and now, to the physical body, to our physical needs. So are you taking care of your physical body? Are you taking care of things in the real world, in the 3D, as well as in the spiritual, or, you know, in your emotions, in your spirituality? Are you on top of things in your life? Are you keeping up with everything that needs to be done? Are you doing your cleaning? You know, it can be as simple as something like that, but can also relate to the organs around that part of the body at the lower trunk. So there's some actual ones down there which I'm not supposed to mention because YouTube doesn't like it. So can also be related to dysfunction or disease, imbalance in those areas. Okay. So the yellow calcite, so we're going to the solar plexus chakra very much with this crystal, and there's a lot of white, kind of white veins in here as well. So I want to bring in the higher chakras as well. I want to go to the soul star with this one too. I want to bring in some very divine energy that is helping you to understand what your place is in the world. On a spiritual level, I feel like you have quite an important role in this world right now. Your path has not been an easy one, as depicted by this rather bumpy stone. Although it's beautiful and it has actually been polished to some extent, it's by no means smooth. So I feel like your life has not been smooth sailing. It's more been like climbing mountains up into the clouds. That's what this crystal evokes for me. Certainly with rocky, unstable beginnings. So again, that could tie in with the root chakra here. Maybe your foundation isn't stable. Maybe you're hoping to move home, to find somewhere where you do feel more stable, or buy your own house perhaps. Maybe that's in your plans at the moment. Maybe it's an emotional stability that you need to work on. Maybe that's something you have been working on with a therapist or a counsellor, for example. Or just by yourself, you know, working through stuff. Maybe you had a bit of a rocky childhood, a difficult start in life. So let's take a look at your crystal card. Ooh, Bix Bite. Doesn't that sound like a breakfast cereal? I've never heard of that one before. I don't use this deck very often. It's a lovely one by Colette Baron Reid. Absolutely gorgeous. Look how beautiful this crystal is. Wow. Look at that magenta. I absolutely love magenta when it shows up like this because it's such a high frequency colour. It's so high vibrational. And it takes us to a higher spiritual plane as well. It resonates... To me, it resonates with the higher spiritual chakras. Absolutely gorgeous. Coming in on number 9, which is all about wisdom and coming to the end of a cycle and knowing everything about that cycle. So there's definitely a sense of you having learned a lot in this last cycle. However many years it was. What shape is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay. So that's hexagonal. So it forms in hexagons. That's interesting because that brings in the energy of number 6 as well, which is the number of the heart, the divine chalice. So quite appropriate that it would be this very glorious, very deep and spiritual pinky purple here. So we're coming in with the colours of the heart, the higher heart chakra, I would say. Let's take a look at what our friend Colette has to say about that. Let's just have a very quick look in the book to see if there's anything that's useful to add to our Bix Bite card. I can't say that without laughing. Right, so drive, courage, full speed ahead and spirited action. Ooh, lovely. So it is very much a card of action that helps us to move forwards and feel driven. Wonderful, to advocate for ourselves. Yes, that is fantastic. That's very, very positive. It's a rare form of beryl, apparently. Interesting. Well, that would explain why I've never seen it before, because I'm a bit of a crystal hoarder, as you can see up here with my dragon's treasure chest at the top of the screen. Wow. So for relationships, it's let going of things that might impede you. Let's see. Also tells us to prioritise relationships, which doesn't surprise me because I said there's a strong heart energy coming off here, isn't there? When it comes to prosperity and money, oh yes, take action towards your goals, take action towards wealth. Absolutely, that's a fantastic message of action and positivity, but also success, which is very interesting because that ties in with the work that I've been doing on the 2026 Psychic Predictions book that is available to pre-order from my website at the moment. So I am still working on that at the moment. The release date is expected to be 24th of December, if not before. I'll probably have it out before then, let's be honest. I'm not that slow. So unless disaster falls, touch wood, that's not going to happen. So let's pop our crystals up here on our big spite. And let's see what gemstone cards we have here, what we can add to this reading and find out what it is that you need to know. So it feels very much like there is this sense of needing to get your house in order, get yourself ready so that you can charge forwards for this next phase of your life, because it feels like change is coming. And certainly as I'm recording this, change is definitely coming for everybody at the end of 2025. Now, this is a timeless reading, so it doesn't matter when you're finding it. It just means that change is coming for you, and you will need to be prepared and ready and solid in your foundation so that you can charge ahead without any worries. So, see what we have here. Oh, Queen of Hearts, Cinnabar. Storylite with the Queen of Spades. Fascinating reading. Queens. Oh, we got a Joker. Amber coming in with Joker. And Waverlight. Wow, with the Six of Clubs. Fantastic. Aren't these interesting? These are all crystals, by the way. I know that looks like, actually that looks like an architect's drawing of some trees on a plan. That's the building surveyor in me. That's what I see. Wow. Massive form mercury ore pigments. Oh, wow. Look at the red on this cinema. Cinema? Maybe cinema is a connection for some people, because that word just jumped out of my mouth. Cinema. But again, we're going to this deep red. So we are going to very much to the root chakra there. We are going to that aspect of self. And with the amber here, again, that's echoing the energy of our yellow calcite here. We are going very much to the solar plexus. So it's who we are in the world, who we are, how we're seen by other people, and how we express who we truly are, and how authentic. The solar plexus really allows us to be authentic when it's in balance, and when it's out of balance, it can make our life very difficult, because we may end up just doing everything for everyone else and living for other people instead of living our soul's true path, which is what we're supposed to do. So the Queen of Hearts in her own right, I mean, she very often is a very beautiful or very emotional, feminine person, feminine energy, usually a woman, can tend to be a bit of a younger woman if it's used as the subject of a reading. But then we have the Queen of Swords, which is definitely an older woman as well. So it could be either at this point, or it could be a young head on old shoulders, or an old head on young shoulders. There could be a very youthful older woman that this reading is for as well. And that's not to say that this reading is just for women, but I am aware that 95% of you who watch are ladies. So there's that. Always fun. But this, to me, the Queen of Hearts always speaks of emotions and of relationships. So I do want to talk about relationships, whether they are romantic or platonic, but they always involve the heart, and they always involve a lot of emotion, a lot of feeling. It's got a very deep sort of intuitive energy to the Queen of Hearts, kind of the embodiment of the divine feminine, if you like. It can also be about marriage and about having babies. So that could be something that you're wanting to do or looking to do in the future. There could be a desire to have a commitment, and there's certainly a potential here, I would say, to have a deeper commitment, whether it's moving a relationship to the next level, having a child, etc., or finding a new relationship. But it feels with the amber here coming through on the Joker, it feels a little bit like it's nice to have a Joker show up, because it means that there's something unexpected coming in that we didn't know about, and kind of all bets are off. Oh, you thought you were going to be single for the rest of your life? Well, that's not happening. It's quite a fun energy, but it comes in to give you a boost of of self-esteem, I would say, of self-worth when it comes to relationships, whatever it is that you need in that particular respect. And respect could actually be a key word for you when it comes to relationships. That could be something that you should be demanding that you haven't been. So bear that one in mind. And amber is certainly a stone that gives courage and fortitude to the heart, helps us to be brave, helps us to stand up and be counted and to speak up for ourselves as well. So there is encouragement to put yourself first and to put your needs first as possible. So the Six of Clubs is actually a card of success and victory. Hooray! So coming off the back of the Amber card, that's very nice. It's an interesting one because number 6 is obviously the number of the heart, the sacred chalice. So it takes me to a heart-centered place, but success coming from the heart, coming from the emotions, coming from doing the right thing and truly being yourself. So success is showing up in your future here, which is really nice. And I want to say it's more than just success in relationships. It's success in many different parts of your life, in money as well, I would say. I'm coming in with the Queen of Spades here as well. Now, she's an interesting one. She's not exactly like the Queen of Swords in the tarot, because obviously we are reading playing cards here. They are different, and I will interpret them differently. Queen of Spades, she can be a bit manipulative. So there could be an older woman perhaps in your life, maybe your mother or a mother figure, who is a bit manipulative. Maybe you were manipulated a lot as a child and that's why you ended up doing everything for everybody else, as opposed to centering and prioritizing your own needs, which is what you're being asked to do now. So there is this warning here, I would say. Don't let other people manipulate you for their benefit. Always try and put yourself first from now on. That seems to be a strong theme coming through. Even if your mother's no longer alive, she can still be influencing you, because her words, her actions, and your experiences with her will have formed you and formed your neural pathways from from birth, right from birth. And that's unescapable. And that is something that we have to work through, and that can be part of our shadow that we have to work through, and certainly something that I've been working on over the past 15 years, shall we say. It's no small task. The mother wound can show up like this, and that could be the thing that's been holding you back from your success. And perhaps this is why we have this pairing here. Maybe that is the only thing holding you back from your success. Maybe the only thing holding you back is you. But it's your subconscious, it's your thought patterns, it's your limiting beliefs holding you back, which will manifest as things in the outside world. So you may well believe that you've been held back by other people, circumstances, and bad luck. And I want to say there's more to it than that. There's more to it than that. Now look how these are very structured crystals. Starolite, which I'm not familiar with at all, but apparently it says it's in metamorphic schists. I don't know what that means. I'm sure somebody can enjoy looking that up and finding out. But look how it's very structured. So it feels like there were some very early structures that may have manipulated you. And that can be church, religion, because look at this sort of cross shapes here. Could be a church or religion, or a restrictive upbringing. Doesn't have to necessarily be the mother, although there's a manipulative feminine energy here. Yeah, so just be aware. And again, this could be an ex-partner, or this could be a current partner's ex-wife, for example, sticking their oar in, trying to make trouble. So there is a little bit of a warning, or at least a caution, to do your work on your mother wound, and not allow yourself to be manipulated by others, because I feel that those days are over now. That's long overdue, that we stop being controlled by those systems. And on the wider scale as well in the world, human beings are controlled by systems, manipulative systems that teach us things from a very early age that pretend to be on our side. You know, we're taught things by religion, we're taught things in school that actually don't serve us very well as human beings at all. They don't set us up for success, because if they did, we'd all be successful, and the majority of us are not. You know, we only reach middling levels of success and completion, and that's if we're lucky, and that's by a very, very poor standard, to be honest with you, and that is intentional, unfortunately. that was put in place by the dark powers who've been running this planet, that we are in the process of overthrowing. So they're not going to be in charge for long. Sorry, guys. Yeah. But the amber here gives you the fortitude and the strength of heart to overcome any emotional challenges, any challenges physically as well in your life at the moment, so that you can reap the rewards that you very much deserve. Okay. Let's bring in the Crystal Magic Tarot now. Okay. See what other messages we have from your spirit guides. What they like to talk about. The energy is really quite sedate for your group as well. Some groups I talk faster than others because the energy is just quicker in some groups, or more effervescent, shall we say. This energy feels quite sedate, so I feel like I've got a lot of earth signs here with me. I'm also feeling a lot of tiredness as I'm shuffling the cards here as well, so there is this sense of, whew, I'm knackered. Okay, so maybe you need a rest. And maybe that's what your physical body is asking you for here with the red agate and with the cinnabar. Because the root chakra is about the physical body. And if you're not resting enough and you're not eating the right things, getting all the nutrients that you need, all the water that you need, your body's not going to be doing so well. And that will have a knock-on effect to your emotions, of course, and other aspects of self. So very important that we keep ourselves in good nick. All right. 4 of Cups. Page of Wands. 7 of Cups. Ooh, King of Swords sat on top of the Queen of Queen of Spades. Ooh, okay. And the Queen of Cups. Interesting. So Queen of Cups corresponds to the Queen of Hearts in a regular deck. The meanings are slightly different between, playing cards and tarot card decks. I know some people will read them as the same because they just do tarot, but there are nuances. There are definitely differences, and energetically the cards are actually different. But there are parallels, of course, as well. So let's take a look at our tarot cards here before we move on to our oracles. So what I'm feeling here is there is this sense of being ready to move forwards in life. It may actually be overdue because, look, the apples are ripe in her hands. They're ready to be eaten. She's ready to move forward. She's ready to move to the next level, to stop being a page and to step in to being a queen or a knight. Yeah. But there is this sense of holding oneself back. And I'm looking at the 4 of Cups as I say that, but not holding oneself back in the same way as we do at the 8 of Swords. It's different. It's almost like we can't see the opportunities. They are there, but maybe we don't think they're quite in reach yet, but they are. And we feel like they should be. They absolutely are in reach. So we have this little pink snake, very beautifully patterned snake wrapped around the 4 cups here. So we can't quite reach them because the snake might bite us. And we have pink halite as our crystal here as well. So very pink energy, very feminine energy coming through here, but also the energy of the higher heart chakra. So this is connected to higher spiritual love. So it could be longing for another person holding us back, longing for a soulmate that isn't available to us at this moment, or who's left the earth plane. There's definitely some sadness here holding us back. I want to say, pile 1, it is time to move forwards in some respect in your life, and this could be romantic, or it could be to do with work, or other activities that are important to you. I feel like work is a big theme coming up here, like you're ready to do something bigger and more important. And work doesn't have to mean paid employment. That can be volunteering, it can be your vocation, whatever it is that you do that you consider work. 7 of Cups. It's like there's this mirror being held up, like you're in a hall of mirrors at the moment, and nothing is quite as it seems. And I think that could be causing a lot of confusion and fear. And those seem to be the energies holding you back, because you are absolutely ready to move forwards. You may have just finished a course of study, for example. And this Page of Wands, she's ready to move forwards. And wands are the element of fire. They are dynamic. And yet she looks like she's stuck here holding a bunch of apples. Like, can I have a box to put these in? Because I can't just stand here holding them because I'm going to drop them and I need to do something now. Can someone take these off me? And with the colour of the card as well, though, the pale blue, I want to talk about the throat chakra. So maybe you do actually need to speak up and say, look, Mrs. Smith, who lives next door, I can't keep looking after your dog because actually I need to get a full-time job now. It could be something as simple as that. Or it could be telling family that you can't be their free babysitter or, you know, free caring service or the one that runs around after everyone else, because actually you need to put yourself first for a bit. So there is this sense of needing to reprioritize your life here. And it comes with fear and apprehension, but also frustration. But I think once you get clear on what it is that you want, it will be much easier to step up and ask for what it is that you need for yourself. Okay. And you are allowed to want things. You don't have to just need them. Okay. I just need to say this. I don't know who this is for. This is going to be quite a specific message because obviously we're working with a lot of different threads of energy here. Some of us, particularly those of us with very oppressive, selfish, self-centered parents, may have grown up thinking that we weren't allowed to ask for things unless we absolutely needed them, unless it was absolutely a need. And you weren't allowed to want something. It had to be a need or you couldn't have it. And I just want you to remember that that's not true. You are absolutely allowed to want what you want. Okay, it doesn't have to be a case of, oh, well, I need this or I'm going to die, you know, or well, I actually need some new shoes. So could I possibly have these ones, please? Because mine have got holes in and they're too small, two sizes too small for me now. No, that's not the only reason that you get things in life. You can have things, but just because you want them, just because you desire them, just because they resonate with you, just because it's something you'd like to do, have, experience, be, become. Okay, so I just want to give you permission to ask for what you want and not only for what you think you're entitled to. Because for many of us, we hold ourselves back in that respect. Oh, well, I don't really need that. Yeah, but do you want it? Well, yeah, but I feel selfish asking for it. Ask anyway. Do you think the universe is limited? Do you think there are any limits on what you can ask for? Because there aren't. Worst case scenario, the universe gives you a no or a not quite yet. Or here's something better. Ask for what you want. I think that's very important to step up and advocate for yourself right now, pile one. So, King of Swords. Again, this kind of manipulative energy with the Queen of Spades, King of Swords here. But I feel like you have the clarity now to see through her illusions and her lies, whoever she is or whatever she represents. And remember, that's not necessarily a person, could represent an institution or just wider society. We have these chess pieces on here. Interestingly, those look more like queens than kings. I mean, I haven't played chess for a while, but that looks more like a queen to me. What do you guys think? Comment below. That looks like a queen to me. So it feels to me like the king has actually got control of the queen here, the dark queen, that dark energy. And with the all-seeing eye here at the top of this pyramid, I like how this is kind of the pyramid shape. We're not having the tetrahedron conversation again. Okay. But it's like you see through the lies now. Or you're going to start seeing through them, or you'll see through them more and more. That's definitely a theme. Seeing through the lies, seeing through the mist, making your way through the mire, getting out of the swamp that you've been stuck in, metaphorically speaking, or perhaps literally. I mean, swamps do exist. Marshland exists, doesn't it? Maybe that's a connection for somebody. Do you live in Florida? Did you get bogged down on the moors in Yorkshire? Okay, I live in the New Forest and it's very boggy here in the winter. Oh my goodness, you won't believe how boggy it gets and how sticky and muddy and wet. And you can be going on a walk, which is a perfectly nice walk in the summer with a lovely accessible path, and suddenly find yourself knee deep in mud and unable to continue because it's just too mushy. So there is a reminder there as well that there is a time for everything. Sometimes the path is clear and sometimes it's not because it's just not the moment. And you've got to wait till the winter's over until it's a bit drier. And the ponies know, the ponies that roam the New Forest. They roam at sort of semi-liberty. They are owned by people. They're not wild animals, but and they are collected and counted a couple of times a year. But they know which parts to avoid. So there is this message here of using your intuition to know when the right time is to actually move forwards and when the right time is to wait. Okay. All right, so moving on to the Queen of Cups. I love how the Queen of Cups is represented by morganite, because that's actually a gorgeous stone for engagement rings. So there's a connection to relationships here. So it could be a new relationship coming in for you. Like I said, with the Queen of Hearts, could be a relationship going to the next level. But it does show as well, and she's in her bathtub here, it shows a mastery over the emotions when we reach the Queen of Cups. And I feel this is what's in your future, Pile 1. A higher degree of self-mastery over the emotions, over your reactions, over your actions. And this is actually what allows you to go to the next level in various parts of your life. So in your job, in your business, in your friendships, in your relationships, romantic and otherwise, and family relationships as well. You're really getting a handle on how to be your authentic self, but also how not to be swept away by emotion anymore. Certainly if that was an issue for you in the past, I see you moving to a much calmer place where emotions are less turbulent, which is very, very nice. Let's get a couple of little angel cards from my pot. Contentment and creativity. Yes, I feel like these are going to be your buzzwords. I want to say for the next year. It doesn't matter when you're watching this, but I want to say from for the next 12 months from now, when you're watching this video, you will be able to unleash your creativity. You will be able to be guided far better by your intuition, because you will have so much more control and you'll feel more in control, I feel, of your life. So that brings greater levels of contentment and happiness, which I feel is what you've been asking for. So here's your answer from Spirit. If that was your question, yes, you can have those greater levels of contentment and more time and emotional space for creativity, whether it's art, crafts, painting, singing, doing tarot readings, letting that creativity out. So I'm going to bring in the energy of another oracle deck now. We're bringing in the magical unicorn cards for some additional messages here from your spirit guides, just asking what it is that you need to know right now. What does my Pile 1 need to know? True. Now that's interesting, because I almost said before I fold it, because there are two cards in this deck. There's one that's definitely yes and one that says true. And I had this sense that one of them was going to come out, and I nearly said, I should have said it, should trust myself. I should know better by now. I nearly said, if you have a question, ask it now, because I feel like there's a yes-no question about to be answered for somebody here. But the answer is true. Yes, what you're asking about is the truth. And it does feel like a positive, affirmative answer. So whatever it is you're asking about, the answer is positive. Change. Yes, the changes you are going through are positive. Yes, look at this gorgeous stallion here, standing at a gateway, a sacred gateway that you're about to pass through. So it does feel almost like a rite of passage about to happen for you, Pile 1. Something very important, an important change in your life is happening. And this could be a physical change. You know, there could be something going on, changing with your body. Maybe you're having surgery. Maybe your hormones are moving to a different level. But it's a positive change. Whatever it is that's happening, this change is going to bring you greater levels of happiness, contentment, and water. What did I say earlier? Drink more water. It says drink more water. Eat foods with water in them, such as fresh fruits and vegetables. So there's a little nudge there for you to have a look at how much water you're drinking and make sure you're getting the right amount. Of course, don't drink too much, because, you know, you can have too much water. That is a thing. If you didn't know that, it's a thing. You can drink too much. That's quite extreme, but that's a thing. So make sure you're drinking the right amount for you. There is also a nudge there to go to bodies of water if that's something you find very calming. So go to a river, go to a lake, go to the sea, go to the ocean. For me, it's the sea. I live right by the sea. As you guys know, I live in the forest by the sea. In the magical forest, why not? We're surrounded by my own kind of unicorns, the New Forest ponies. Very sacred energy coming through here with these unicorns, because look, their hooves and horns are actually golden here. So there's a very high vibrational spirit energy coming through here. So I think you may find some of your best intuitive flashes or messages actually coming through when you are in or beside water. So obviously that can apply to when you're in the shower or in the bathroom. Water is a messenger carrier for us humans. We are made up of a huge amount of water ourselves, so don't underestimate that. That could also be a nudge as well for you to step into the realm of homeopathy, or if you've studied the work of, what's his name? I'm trying to remember. I can never remember this. The Japanese chap who did the experiments with water and the memory of water and freezing water as well, and after saying things to it and looking at it under a microscope and seeing how it changed and how it was affected by the words and the energy of those words that were said to the water before it was frozen. Very, very interesting. There's a lady called Veda Austin who has done a lot of work. She's kind of picked it up and run with it. Very interesting if you want to look that one up if it resonates. Worth waiting for. Yes. I feel like it's taken you a long time to get here, Pile 1, but it's worth it. Your patience will be rewarded. Whatever it is you've been asking for, waiting for, it will be worth it. You will get what you've asked for in some way, shape or form. And again, look, by a body of water here. This lovely Appaloosa unicorn. Got a couple of foxes here as well. So I want to bring in the fox symbolism with this card as well. The foxes are very creative and very clever. Always portrayed as cunning, aren't they? But I'm not sure that they're necessarily cleverer than cats. But they can be very sweet. Interesting. Yeah, I see the waves of creativity and inspiration actually coming in for you as well here. So very interesting. And on the bottom of the deck, I just want to draw your attention to try something new. Yes, there could be a nudge to try that new creative fun thing that you want to do. Hang out with people you've never hung out with before. Look, we've got a dolphin, a unicorn, and a killer whale all hanging out together. Unexpected friends, but they seem to all be having a really great time. So there could be some new people coming into your life. You could be about to join a new group or join an activity, a class, where you will find something new about yourself and find something new to enjoy. But it says you'll only know what you can do if you'll only know that you can do something if you try. So please don't give up before you've started, Pile 1. And that could be something that you've done quite a lot, especially if you had manipulative or parents that put a lot of pressure on you, for example, who expected you to do everything perfectly first time, or maybe you struggle with perfectionism. And if you can't do something perfectly first time, maybe that's a real problem for you and it puts you off from doing it and you give up immediately and think, well, I'm rubbish at this. And school is a culprit for that as well. I remember being at primary school and at secondary school, to be fair, and particularly with sports. Unless you were like really good at something, straight away you never got to do it again. You know, you wouldn't be selected to have another go or to be on the team or to improve your skills in that particular sport or discipline unless you were really good at it immediately, which is nonsense because you miss out on people who could actually be really, really good at something just because they didn't manage to do it very well on day 1 or day 2. You know, and I think schools do us a disservice there. They teach us some very poor lessons about working towards being better at something. And this always reminds me of Chuck Norris's autobiography, which I have read, by the way. When I was traveling in Australia, I stayed on a ranch where I was working in exchange for my room and board on the edge of the Snowy Mountains. Absolutely gorgeous location called Brindabella Station. Look it up, it's fabulous. And there were some books left behind by previous travellers who'd worked there. And one of them was Chuck Norris's autobiography. And guess what? I'd run out of things to read, so I was going to read it. You read whatever you can get your hands on when you're travelling. Because, we didn't have... there's absolutely no mobile reception out there, for starters. There was no internet back then either. There was no Wi-Fi. Literally the back end beyond middle of nowhere. Smartphones weren't a thing because this was 2006. We didn't have access to smartphones. They hadn't been invented. Or if they had, they were a long way away from me getting one. So you'd read anything you could get your hands on, and you'd swap your books over when you reached somewhere. You'd leave your books and you might take a couple of other ones to read with you. And something that really struck me in his autobiography was when he was talking about taking up karate. When Chuck Norris first did karate, he was the worst one in the class. He was the worst one there. He freely admits he was rubbish at it. Didn't know what he was doing, had no coordination, absolutely crap. Okay? And he decided he was going to get good at it, so he worked harder than anybody else there. And he had to work harder because he had no natural talent for it at the time, or so he thought. And he went on to be a world karate champion. So just let that sink in for a moment. Just because you're really bad at something when you start it doesn't mean you can't get good at it or even get competent at it. You don't have to be a world champion. But Chuck Norris reminds us that you can. And now he's a meme. And he's a TV star, and he's done all of these amazing things, and he's had this incredible life because he didn't give up, because he didn't go, oh, well, I'm rubbish at this class, so I won't bother coming back again. Clearly, I'm not meant to do this. So I think that's kind of my final word on this, pile one. Just because you're not very good at something to start with doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Okay? So be brave, strike out. There's something new coming in for you. Something very interesting and fun coming in for you as well. So get ready to enjoy this next phase of your life and don't give up. Don't fall. Even if you fall at the first hurdle, just get up and get over it again. It's fine. You'll get there. Just remember, I think she was a Belgian shot putter who had to do a course of hurdles. She had to do the 100 metres hurdles in some athletics event so that her team didn't get disqualified. And Lord knows she was not a hurdler. She was quite stocky because she was a shot putter. And she basically had to step over all of the hurdles and then jog to the end just so that her team didn't get disqualified, looking like a complete idiot doing it. But she did it. Because it was important. And it didn't matter what she looked like, and it didn't matter that she came last, and her time was probably about 3 times as long as everyone else's. It didn't matter. She got it done. She got the job done. And so can you. Okay. So I hope that was interesting, pile one. I hope that was helpful and relevant. Please let me know which bits resonated for you. Leave me a comment in the description, not in the description, in the comments below. You'll find links to all of my gear, all the stuff you can get in the description, to my 2026 Psychic Predictions ebook, which is going to be released by the 24th of December 2025, so Christmas Eve, in time for Christmas. It is an ebook, of course, so you can pre-order that now at angelwingsholistics.com. You can get any of my other books from Amazon. And you can order gorgeous aromatherapy gifts and products from Neal's Yard from my independent consultant shop. So, I will see you very soon. If you feel drawn to any of the other piles, you also have pile 2 and 3 to choose from. There could be some fantastic messages for you in those as well. If not, I will bid you farewell. Thank you for visiting. Please come back again soon. And please take very, very good care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Hello, pile 2, and welcome to your reading. You picked these crystals. So we have this very, very interesting red quartz, which I think might be red wine quartz. I forget what the label was on the shop. But to me, it's kind of blood clot quartz. That's kind of what I'm calling it today. So, I mean, that could be a direct correlation to your health. Maybe you have had issues with circulation, heart attack, strokes, perhaps in your family or in people around you. But that's what it evokes to me. I also got the words blood-brain barrier as well coming through. So I feel like we could have people who maybe suffer with Alzheimer's or dementia, or who have family members who do, or with autism spectrum disorders as well here. Yeah. Very interesting energy coming through. And with the combination of colours of this crystal, because it goes from a very dark red to kind of a dusky pink, to me this brings together the energy of the root chakra and the higher heart chakra. So it's where the physical meets the the spiritual heart. So the root chakra being the here and now, the 3D, that which is in physical form, our everyday life, our physical body, the things that we have to get on and do, our chores, our house, the physical reality as we know it. And the higher heart being the complete opposite of that, being the highest level of love, which is compassion. And it's leading me to the Christ consciousness there as well. So it's almost like you combine those two factors together, you bring them together. You embody both the physical and the Christ consciousness. So it wouldn't surprise me if you had number 33 somewhere in your numerology chart. That's one of my numbers as well. So it is the Christ consciousness. It's not a number to be feared. Very sweet crystal, this one. I like its energy. Also, so our second crystal here is ruby in fuchsite. So we have the little pink pieces of ruby inside the green fuchsite where they've merged together. Almost like little islands in a stream here. That's what it always reminds me of in this particular piece. I love this piece. It's a very healing and balancing stone, again, particularly for the heart. So the heart's a big deal in your life. Emotions, relationship, romance, it's a big deal. Maybe you're a Venusian, maybe you've got Taurus or Libra quite heavily in your chart. Yeah, relationships seem important for you. Yeah. I apologise if you can hear Mr. Moderator being noisy. How dare he be at work? Almost like a little face there as well. It's quite fun, this one. I get the song Islands in a Stream. So that could be a connection for you there. Remember, we're tugging on a lot of different threads of energy here. This was a group reading for a lot of different people. So take the energy and the messages that resonate for you, leave the ones that don't make any sense at all. But it's almost like there's white water here around the little islands. It's a bit choppy. Maybe you are that stable place or that stable person for others. Maybe you are the one that other people rely on. The calm in the storm, shall we say. Maybe that's your role in life. So let's pop our crystals over here. Let's take a look at our crystal card. Petalite. Oh, isn't that lovely? Look at the purity there with this gorgeous white crystal and these lovely, very high vibrational magentas and purples and orange around the outside there. That's a very high vibrational image to be looking at there with 42-6. So again, we have the number of the heart, the sacred chalice, which is number 6, but it comes to us via 42. So, yes. So 42, the duality leading the physical world. You are that dichotomy personified. I feel like you personify both the mundane and the arcane. You bring them both together. You are somebody who brings spirituality to earth, perhaps somebody who explains it to others or who embodies spiritual lessons for other people. And I mean that in a good way. I mean that as in embodying higher vibration, and you live high vibrational lifestyle. You show people how to walk their talk. You show them how to live as the Buddha. This is a very sacred group, Pile 2. Who's out there? Have we got a modern day Buddha out there? It's a very beautiful Yeshua energy coming through here. It's absolutely glorious. And I feel like part of your life's path is very much to help people to reconnect with the Christ consciousness and to remember that we are all one, we are all God. And there's no ego involved there. We are all one. Because we cannot be separate from God. Because we are. Because I am. Wow. I'm just going to have a quick look in Colette's book for this one. So this is a deck by Colette Baron Reid, Crystal Spirits Oracle Guidebook. Because I'm not familiar with this crystal. There's a lot of purity, a lot of heavenly energy, angelic energy comes through here. And I just want to see what Colette has to say about it as well. That'll be quite interesting. She always has some good insights. So Witnessing the observer, an ability to detach the impersonal quality of the universe. Yes, it's almost like you're a spiritual observer come down to earth to lead the way and show people how it's done. Almost like you're an angel out of place. You're like an earth angel. Let's see. So this stone gives you the ability to step back and observe with detachment and not get too swept up in other people's emotions, because you're a very emotional being. You're very psychically and emotionally connected to yourself. You have I would say, a complex emotional landscape that most people don't have. Highly empathic, highly psychic. Let's see. But the flip side of that is it makes you very sensitive and makes you very prone to reacting to things and to picking up trauma along the way as well. And perhaps getting too close in relationship, too close too quickly, and not being able to see the wood for the trees. So maybe you've been taken advantage of in relationships. That could definitely be a theme here for my empaths in part 2. Let's see. Yeah, there is a reminder here to always reach for something higher and for something better as well in your work and with money, because you are capable of more, but you don't actually always have the answers. So try not to fall into the trap of thinking that you know everything. I want to say that's for some of you, not everyone, of course. Yeah, there are many answers which still haven't been revealed to you about prosperity, about abundance, about manifesting. So I feel that's a subject we're going to be talking about today. There's a lot that will be revealed, because it feels like on the kind of more spiritual edge, you've really got a handle on that stuff. But with the more physical things, there's still a lot to learn. There's still a lot to learn here. And that could be frustrating, because you might be someone who wants to stay more in the spiritual energy, but also you need more money. Who doesn't, right? So try to be patient with yourself. Let us see what gemstone cards we have. These are gemstone playing cards that I bought when I was down at one of our favourite places, which is Dalston Castle on the Isle of Purbeck. Okay. Ace of Hearts, chrysocolla, lazurite, also known as lapis lazuli or lapis lazuli, I don't know how you might say it. Wow, very high vibrational stone. Here's a piece. Here's a piece of lapis. Let's bring that in. Marcasite in mineral veins and nodules in chalk. Fascinating. Now, I don't know all of these crystals, for the record. Hemimorphite. Doesn't that look like dinosaur bones in like a bog? Was it a tar pit? That's just what it says, zinc ore here, but it just evokes fossils being dug up. So there could be a message for you in my fossils reading that I did recently, which I will try and remember to link here. Okay, and now I can hear Bedford meowing from outside. He must have gone outside, because I can hear him yelling. He does this. He goes outside in the garden and yells at me, although I'm on the first floor, so I clearly can't do anything about letting him in. And he has a perfectly good cat flap. Little tinker. But he's like my little Romeo. He serenades me from my window. Okay. Notice we've also got a pair of 3s in the middle here, and I did say number 33 was probably in your numerology, and here it is again. So bit of confirmation coming through there with number 33 clearly being an influence on your life, whether it's in your natal chart or not, your numerology chart, that is. I'm not an astrologer, I'm a numerologer. So the Christ consciousness, yes, you embody that. Part of your mission here on earth is to help people to reach higher spiritual heights. That's absolutely certain. And a joker. We've got Amber. That one actually came out for pile 1, and I have shuffled these very, very well. So that's very interesting. We could have connections to pile 1 for you here if that resonates. I do actually have some Amber, but I think it's in the other room, so I'm not going to go get it. Okay. It's not on the table here, is it? No. I have random pieces of jewellery as I'm sort of guided to bring them out on the table here, which you've probably noticed. Okay. Usually crystal jewellery. It's like a dragon's lair here, isn't it, with all the gold and crystals. Okay. It's funny because that's not the look I was going for, and that's kind of what it turned out to be after all this time, and I think it kind of works. Let me know what you think in the comments. Lapis, well, very high vibrational lapis, very highly prized by the ancient Egyptians, used in their high magics. So very high vibrational energy there, but also with the Ace of Hearts. Aces are about new beginnings, of course. Hearts are about emotion. So this could literally indicate a new relationship, but a relationship with a spiritual basis. So it could be something completely new or an existing relationship going to a higher level. But it is a very lucky card to see. Generally, that's going to mean that something good's coming in. Something positive is going to enter your life. And you are one of those people who does develop deep emotional ties with people as well. So it could be a new job where you just gel really, really strongly with everyone, and become good friends even after the job ends or when people move on. So there is this very beautiful relationship, new relationship energy that comes through with the Ace of Hearts. So very lucky, very positive omen to be starting out our reading with. That's very nice to see. So let's move on to our threes. We've got the Three of Spades and the Three of Clubs. Now, interestingly, with playing cards, when you have a pair of threes, it indicates that there is a choice to be made. So it could be a choice of romantic partner, of new beginning, of job, for example. But certainly does talk about choices and decisions. So feels like you're going to be presented with more than one route here, pile two, which is very, very interesting. So the Three of Swords, Three of Spades, I was going to say, like its counterpart, the Three of Swords in the tarot. It's quite a stressful number. It's not the best place to be. It is about stress, about worry. It could be stress to do with a job. So maybe we are bang on there and it is about, you're worried you're going to lose a job. But that's okay because there is this new start coming there. There will be more opportunities, probably more than one. Or maybe you're faced with potentially leaving a job and jumping before you're pushed. So we say, is it time to leave now or do I wait and be made redundant? So there are definitely some decisions that you need to make here, I feel, I want to say in the work element of your life, but it could also be with regards to relationships as well. That's where the choice could come into relationships. But this card normally talks about work. It is also about expanding your mind. So you could be learning something new or about to start a course of study, or you might have just finished one as well. So there is a lot of potential at 3 as well, because number 3 in numerology is the divine blueprint. It's where we make our plans to bring things into reality, into the physical. It's where we plan for the future. So there is an opportunity to do a lot of planning here with 2 3s coming in together. It just feels like you're going to need to make some decisions so that you actually know what it is you're doing rather than trying to chase 2 rabbits. Because if you chase 2 rabbits, you won't catch either of them. You have to pick one and run after it as fast as you can. Now, depending on whether you capture the rabbit, and shower it with love and affection and call it George, or whether, I'm quoting a Bugs Bunny cartoon there, who remembers that? Or whether you're planning to put it in the stew pot, that's up to you, of course. But it does feel like there are 2 options and you can't have them both. So the 3 of Clubs is an interesting one because, again, there's a lot of potential here and it comes in with an energy of creativity with clubs. So it suggests that maybe you're not using all of your creativity. Maybe you could be doing something a bit more challenging. Maybe you're holding yourself back, playing small. Maybe you are an artist or something like that, and you haven't been working on your creativity and allowing that to be unleashed. Can also be stress to do with creative projects as well. Maybe you've been feeling the stress recently. But there are wide horizons when we reach the 3 of Clubs. It's a very exciting card to see. And And your guides do want you to be positive about this situation, because there's a lot to be gained and there's a lot of positivity here. And it is coming in with a very high spiritual vibration. So your future is looking very nice, pile 2. It's just a case of getting through this sticky patch for some of you. And maybe making some decisions and some choices about what it is that you want. And I just had to adjust one of my little lights on this string here, because it was actually blinding me. So that could be relevant here. Maybe you feel like you're being blinded by the light. And that can be spiritual as well, but metaphorically being blinded by the light and you're not sure which direction to go in. But you know that you have to move forwards and you are going to have to make a decision soon. And I feel this is where the Joker comes in with the amber. Amber, as it showed up in pile 1, is a card that gives us great courage and fortitude. It can help the physical body as well if we're feeling tired. It can help to give us a boost of energy and endurance as well, because I feel like you need some endurance. I feel like you've been trying to work this out for a long time now, pile 2. It does feel like a marathon that you've been on, perhaps with other people draining your energy as well. Maybe that's why you feel like a fossil that's just been dug up. Maybe you're feeling a bit tired. Okay. Yeah, there could be a connection to gardening here as well for some people, because generally these are this is fossilized resin from pine trees. So there could be a connection to the pine tree there. And of course, I have a little Christmas tree here. This is the Christmas tree Pushine from the blind box set in, I want to say 2017. This is a very valuable Pushine. Sit there, Pushine. So there could be a connection to pine trees or Christmas. I am filming this just before Christmas in 2025, but there doesn't have to be. But it could be a connection to a Christmas, depending on when you're listening to this, or even a pine forest, depending on where you live, or pine trees. So look out for that. That could be a connection, a very specific connection for somebody. And just then I had to move, like there's a little bit of glitter. I don't know how it got on this card. I just had to move it. And my eye fell on this crystal here, and I'm very, very drawn to it for you. This is actually blue goldstone. If you look closely, this one, the sparkly bit here, the pattern of the sparkles looks to me like a polar bear running. Probably can't make it out. No, I don't think the camera's going to pick it up, but it's a very beautiful stone. There's the polar bear. There he is. Run, run, run. This is also called the astrologer's stone. So there could be a link to magic or astrology, high magics, and basically all of the spiritual pursuits coming out very strongly here. So I feel like this stone is relevant for you. It might be a moment for you to get a piece for yourself. That could be something that resonates for you. It's a very mystical stone as well. It will help with your spirituality, help you get to higher spiritual heights, which is one of the reasons I have it here on my desk for readings, along with a bunch of other stones that I've picked specifically to help me with my readings and to fortify me when the energy dips and it's getting hard to do videos, which does happen. Sometimes it's hard to channel. So maybe your psychic senses need a little bit of support in that respect. And it's not that they're not capable, maybe they just need a bit of spiritual support, a bit of oomph. And again, that could be because you're tired and run down as well. So there is a nudge here to make sure you're eating the right things, drinking enough water, and taking care of yourself, taking care of your physical body, because you have to be the spiritual being and the physical being together. Okay, you don't get to choose. You don't get to just be the spiritual being. And I know that would please you for a lot of you out there in pile 2. You just want to be this beautiful spiritual goddess or priest wandering around spreading the message to everyone, spreading messages of joy and peace. But we don't get to do that right now. Maybe at some point in the future, but not just yet. We also have to embody the physical as well and take care of the physical body, and unfortunately have jobs for most of us as well. It sucks, doesn't it? Okay, let's move on to the Crystal Magic Tarot now. Let's get some more cards. See what messages your guides have for you, what they would like you to know. Oh, what was that? Some cards threw themselves on the floor. Oh, that was a bit dramatic. Are you a bit dramatic, Partu? Are you? Really? We have the Queen of Cups. Interesting. Again, she showed up in pile 1, and I have shuffled these, so there's no excuse for that. We have the Hanged Man. So the Queen of Cups, Morganite, which is a gorgeous crystal, which is often found in modern engagement rings. So that could be a connection there for some people. Could be an engagement coming up. Maybe you're recently engaged or someone around you is. The Hanged Man with Iolite. Death with Jet. I actually really like this Death card. I think it's gorgeous. Death is a very positive card anyway. Despite its scary reputation, there's nothing to be scared of. Death's wonderful. It's about the end of a cycle, beginning of a new one. And my chair is making some ridiculous noises. Yeah. Must oil that. Don't think I have any jet, but it is black. it's a black crystal, of course. It's jet black. Let's see. 5 of Swords with smoky quartz. We do have some of that. And the Devil with amethyst. I have a lot of amethyst kicking about. Not sure I've got a piece small enough to actually put on the card for you. I've got lots of big pieces of amethyst. Looking around going, where's my amethyst? Well, I won't try and find a piece to put on the card because I've got so many of them and most of them are massive. So, hang on, let me just find one. Yes, we have an amethyst heart, which matches very much the heart on here, the purple heart of the devil. One purple heart's a drug that people used to do in the 60s. I remember hearing that somewhere. Someone tell me if that's a thing, if you've ever done it. Not that I'm planning to, I'm just curious. Right. Okay. Were they psychedelic or something, purple hearts? Anywho. We do not endorse drug taking on this channel. Goodness me. Right. All right. The temptation to avoid when things get stressful. Ooh, there is a temptation here, I feel, to cut and run when things get stressful. And to always think that you know better. And that's not a criticism. It's not intended to be. It's just an observation of a pattern that some of you may be playing out part 2. And that's not for everyone, obviously. If it resonates for you, take it. If it doesn't, leave it. But there may be a temptation to cut and run sometimes when things seem to be too difficult, to give up a bit too easily. But to make excuses that you're doing it on a spiritual level, when maybe it's just fear on a more human level. Maybe you use your spirituality as an excuse. Come on, we all do it. Are you using your spirituality as an excuse not to get down and dirty and get stuck in and do the work? Because that could definitely be the case sometimes. I think a lot of us have done that at some point, but there's just a little message here not to do that. A little reminder, actually, no, it may be time to approach things differently now. To look at things from a different perspective. To remember that the physical life is important too. And it's not just about, our spiritual practice and living in those wonderful high vibrational energies. Sometimes we have to come down to earth and do stuff there as well, much as that sucks. Much as we might not want to. Yeah, I get real priestess energy for you guys. It's a very beautiful energy. And that doesn't matter if you're male or female, by the way. I do feel that like there was a recent past life for some of you where you were actually a priestess or a priest or maybe a monk or a nun, but certainly in a life of solitude and spiritual practice. And so there is always that urge to go back to it, even if it's not possible or practical in this lifetime. It's almost like that's what you're seeking and that's what you would do given half a chance, if that were possible or resonant for you. Because it's not like we can go out and hang out at the Temple of Apollo and have all our needs taken care of. Not anymore. You might be able to join like a Catholic nunnery, but that may not be what you're into. So, yes, there is certainly a nudge here. On the one hand, to be gentle with yourself with the Queen of Cups, but also to be very emotionally honest. What have you been avoiding? What have you been using to avoid things you're supposed to do in the physical world? Okay, remember, this is lots of threads of energy we're tugging on here, so this message isn't going to be for everyone. But there is certainly a need to look at things differently with the Hanged Man, to understand things differently. And to know that even some of the most mundane and unspiritual experiences can be very important for our soul's growth and can teach us many spiritual lessons when we draw on them in the future. Because there is a big shift, a big change coming for you, Part 2. There's a death here, and not a literal one. It may be an ego death for some people, maybe stepping away from an old habit to, like I said, to run away from things when they're a bit too difficult and blame our spirituality. Oh, well, my guides told me not to do that. Really? Did they though? Or was it just couldn't be bothered? It was too hard. You didn't want to do it. Because there is conflict that you will have to deal with, and there is conflict coming up. There is change coming into your life, and I feel like you need to be ready for it because it's tricky. It's a tricky energy here. It's major life change time for some of you. Let's get some little angel cards here from my pot. Get some themes. Creativity, it's interesting. We also had that in part 1. And harmony. Yeah, I know you long for harmony. I know you do. But it feels like there's a period of upheaval to come in your lifetime, in your life, quite soon, I would say, part 2. And that's no bad thing. The upheaval is necessary because it brings in new positivity. But it may be a while until you feel balanced again. It may really put you out of balance. But these are obstacles that you can absolutely overcome. You have the skills, the ability, the strength, the knowledge to get through. I feel like it may require some discipline, but you absolutely can do it if you choose to. And it will be a choice. It's like you're being given a choice to rise and shine or not. And this could be something connected to actually teaching, public speaking, being on the public stage, the world stage somehow, having a bit of a public profile. And being an inspiration to others as well. I feel that your life's path is an important one because you are here to help and inspire other people, to help lift them up spiritually as well. But sometimes you have to put in the hard work as well, not just the spiritual work. You have to do the mundane stuff. I know you don't like it, I know. None of us do. But you can. You are able to do this. You are capable of doing this. Try not to delegate it. It's important that you do it for yourself. It's important that you deal with the complaint with the insurance company, that you sort the things out, that you don't let someone else do it for you or ask someone else to do it for you. It's not too overwhelming. You can do this. And overwhelm may be something that you've struggled with, maybe depression, anxiety, PTSD, maybe these have been things you've been struggling with. And the challenge here, I feel, is to overcome that sense of overwhelm so that you can be more resilient, so that you can embody the strength that you have inside. So you can also be more autonomous, because this is an important part of your path, and I feel like Spirit won't let you move forwards until you get over that hump, over that lesson. Stepping back into your power, stepping back into your power as a human who's capable and gets things done in a very practical sense. That's where we're going back to for you. I feel like you had it, maybe you lost it for a while, or it's been challenging because of mental health challenges. Maybe you've been a victim of abuse. Maybe that's been something you've been working through and it's kind of put you back for a bit. But you're getting back into that strong energy now where you have the strength and the fortitude to stand up and be counted and do the difficult things. So I'm going to bring in some more oracle cards now. I have the Goddess Guidance oracle cards for you, my part 2s. Let's see what messages we have from your guides, what you need to know right now. That one definitely wants to come out. Look at that. Sekhmet, be strong. What did I just say? You are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. Channel the energy of that lion-headed goddess connected to the sun. Yes. Channel your inner Sekhmet. And the amber, to be fair, resonates quite strongly with this goddess as well, ancient Egyptian goddess. Pele, divine passion. Ooh, she needs a sensor shell. Let's give her a little shell bra there. There we go. Shell bra for Pele. Divine passion. Be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? What is the thing that you actually want to do? Where do you want to go next? And Yemanya, who will also require some a shell bra, shell bikini top. Let's just talk amongst yourselves for a minute. I arrange these. YouTube doesn't like nudity, even if it's not real. There we go. There she is with her shell bra. Yemanya, golden opportunity. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. Yes, you can do this. Nothing needs to hold you back. If it's the thing that you really want to do, you can do it. You have the strength, you have the mental fortitude, you have the emotional strength to get through this, whatever it is, to move on to the next phase in your life. One last card. Oh, phew, nothing to cover it. Lakshmi. Bright future, stop worrying, everything's going to be fine. This also bodes well if you've been struggling with your mental health. I want to say she brings in a rush of positivity and also relief from anxiety, from depression, you know, from difficult emotions, from PTSD. That's wonderful. There is good fortune in your future, and obstacles will be removed if you are brave enough to step up to them. So very, very strong, powerful goddess energy coming through in this reading. I knew I picked that deck for you for a reason, Part 2. You absolutely can find that balance. You can find the balance of being the physical being and the spiritual being at the same time. And that is one of your life lessons. And it is necessary for you to do that, because you have to walk your talk so that other people can be inspired and led by your example. So think about what it is that you really want to do with your life in this next phase, because the next phase is inevitable and it feels like you are going to have to choose. And that's okay. But choose the thing that lights you on fire, the thing that you're passionate about, because there's nothing that needs to hold you back. Nothing needs to hold you back. Okay, Part 2, it's been an absolute pleasure. I hope that was helpful. I hope some of these messages resonated for you. Remember, there is also Pile 1 and Pile 3 you can listen to if you are drawn to either or both of those. There may be messages in both of them for you. There's also the fossil reading that I linked earlier, which will be in the links that you can check out if you feel drawn to that one as well. Wow. That was quite a heavy energy in the nicest possible way. That was very spiritual energy coming through Part 2. So I know you guys are very, very spiritual. All right. So please remember to like, comment, subscribe. You can hype this video if you think it's a good one, and that means that other people will be able to see it. You can use the new hype feature, which is available on mobile devices. And until I see you again, please take very, very good care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 3. You chose the third pile with the black Moonstone and the red Tiger's Eye. Quite an unconventional group, I feel, here, because Tiger's Eye is normally orange, not red, and Moonstone is normally a creamy white, not a dark black. But that's okay, because I also feel like this is my mirror group, because both of these crystals kind of have mirroring properties to them. So I feel like you guys, you act as mirrors to people. You show people their shadow. And that doesn't necessarily make you very popular with people either. People generally don't like to have their shadow reflected back to them. So you may actually help people to navigate or to be introduced to some of their most difficult lessons. But sometimes it can make you a bit of an outcast because you speak the truth as you see it. And I also have a little bit of just a cautionary message for you as well. You may have noticed my lights have gone. Okay, they were here at the beginning. They were here for Pile 1 and Pile 2. And I just finished recording Pile 2. and I was putting my cards away. And I noticed a little plume of smoke just come up, and I thought, that's strange. I didn't think I had a candle over that side. No, I didn't have a candle over that side of the table. What I did have was my string of lights, and one of the bulbs burnt out. There it is. One of the bulbs burnt out. Is it black now? And there was a plume of smoke coming off it, and I thought, oh my goodness, that's not good. And it's interesting because I changed the batteries this morning over from just regular batteries to this little adapter that I bought, which I thought would work quite nicely because it's supposed to replace 2 AA's, and it's supposed to be compatible with items that would take 2 AA's. But in my opinion, I think it was probably too powerful, too much electricity running through it, so too much current. Yeah, and it burnt out one of my bulbs, and it nearly set on fire because there was smoke. I immediately unplugged it, of course. So I want to say there is a little bit of a warning here, just not to allow yourself to get burnt out. I feel it's about burnout, emotional burnout, physical burnout. Don't do too much for other people right now, because you may find yourself in a tricky spot with smoke coming out of your ears. And I just noticed that I left the purple amethyst heart on the desk from pile 2. Well, we'll keep that around. It seems like it wants to be here with us, so we'll keep that one there. Just rearrange my Santa bauble. That could also be quite a literal message for some people. It may literally be a message about being careful with your Christmas lights this year, because we are coming up to Christmas as I'm filming this, as you can see from my decorations. My little Christmas tree prachine here, little bauble over here. Yes, but it seems like there is a message about burnout or burning out or possible electrical fires. So check everything, please. Check your lights, check your bulbs, and be careful. Okay. So our string of lights may have gone out, but we are by no means in the dark. Our candle is still burning. My other lights are all fine. Okay. So, Black Moonstone, Red Tiger's Eye. Wow. I feel like we're going to get into it with you guys. This feels like it's going to be quite a spiritual reading. Messages from your spirit guides may be quite esoteric, but they also have some practical information for you as well. Wow, the Black Moonstone to me always evokes the dark moon, the dark side of the moon. Hecate. The darker goddesses, the ones who maybe aren't as popular because they represent more challenging aspects of self, more challenging aspects of humanity and of life. I also have the goddess Vesta coming to mind as well, which is actually the goddess of hearth and home, I think, from the Roman tradition. So see if she shows up later. That'll be interesting. That could be one for you to work with. That could be a nudge for you. Could also be a name as well. If you look closely, there's like a dragon in this crystal. I don't know if you'll be able to see the dragon's head that I see. Just here, there's his nose. Looks like a dragon. Just me? Can you see it? Let me know if you can see it. Put in the comments. Lilith. Yeah, the darker goddesses, the more difficult, challenging ones, the ones who deal with life and death, the things that scare the menfolk, the things that don't really scare women as much, because we have to deal with them. We have to deal with being bringers of life and potentially dealing with death. I mean, we all have to deal with it at some point, don't we? But the divine feminines in particular, we have to deal with it on another level, because life comes from our body. We carry it, we nourish it. We experience whether it lives or dies. You know, there's very tough lessons that women have to go through with miscarriages and, you know, fertility and childbirth. It's difficult, it's painful, it's dangerous. It's dangerous, dark work in many ways, but it's very magical, very powerful and positive as well. Much as the menfolk may not see it that way. And I think that's where the patriarchal religions or the patriarchal systems built up around various systems of beliefs really have it wrong. They don't understand the power of the female form of the feminine, the divine feminine. Or perhaps they choose not to understand it to try and keep us repressed. I think it's more a choice at some level. I still get the dark feminine from this stone, you know, as well, the red tiger's eye. We're going to the root chakra, we're going to the dark, we're going to our deeper, darker earth star chakras. There's a sacred initiation here, whether that's something you've recently experienced or will do. There's an initiation to the dark feminine, to Hecate, to the shadow forces of the divine feminine, which allow us to have these deeper understandings of life and death, these deeper understandings of the true nature of things, of our spirituality, in ways that only the feminine can. And that doesn't necessarily mean you're a man watching this, a woman even. I know that 95% of my audience is actually female, so, you know, I can put money on it. Look at this wound. This big, big wound on this crystal. Deep wounding. You've been through deep wounding, whether physical, metaphorical, emotional, spiritual, otherwise. I feel you've had some very difficult and challenging past lives as well, Path 3. You are not here by accident. You are here as a shadow worker, an integration worker, to help people understand that when we just refuse to acknowledge the shadow and just stand in the light, we can end up denying a part of ourselves. I mean, half of ourselves. And you don't do that. You reflect back to people the thing that they don't want to see, the thing that they've tried to hide, that they've tried to keep in the shadows. You show them who they truly are and what they truly need to do in order to be healed, to be whole. That's part of your path. And that's a very powerful thing to do, but it's also risky because people don't like it. But you will call out the BS and you will call out the false light when you see it. Selenite, look at that. Another crystal connected to the moon, of course. Are we even shocked? I'm not shocked. Beautiful, gorgeous selenite. So I actually have some selenite. Let's bring our selenite in. These are my working crystals that I use when I'm doing angelic healing. I call them working crystals because they have to work when I do. There we go. There's some selenite. It's a little piece. You'll very often see it in wand form or in different shapes because I think it's quite easy to fashion into different shapes. It's quite a soft crystal. It's also water soluble, so you have to be very careful. Do not put it in water. When you're doing cleansing of your crystals, don't run this one under the tap. It won't go well. Okay, we also come up at the number of 49. 49, 13, 4. Interesting. End of a cycle in the physical world, leading to major change and new beginnings, but new foundations. So it could be, feels like major life change time as well for you. Maybe moving into a different phase of your life, moving house, moving country, moving jobs. I just heard the words moving job satisfaction. I don't even know what that means. But if I hear it, I say it. Let's have a look at Colette's book as well that goes with this deck. This is a deck by Colette Baron Reid, the Crystal Spirits Oracle. Let's have a little look at her guidebook, see what she has to say. Selenite. Liquid light, fluidity, flexibility, illumination and clarity. Raising your vibration. Well, yes, you do all of those things. That's basically my pal threes. Focus on raising the vibration. Focus on staying fluid and flexible. Yes, that's your answer. If you have some decisions to make, I feel like it's necessary. You need to stay fluid and flexible in all of this. Don't be too rigid. Get ready to go with the flow and always aim for the high vibrational answer. Aim for the spiritual answer to the physical question. Deepening of relationships. Taking us higher into different ideas about what abundance truly looks like as well. Maybe understanding higher levels of abundance through spirituality, knowing that it's not always about the stuff and the money. And bringing purity and cleansing as well. Very, very cleansing energy that connects us to the angelic realms. Because as I said, this is one of the crystals I use to actually connect to the angelic realms when I'm doing angelic healing. And I do angelic healing on people, on relationships, on pets, you know, whatever needs to be done. You can have an angelic healing on your business. That's a thing we can do. If you're interested, links below at angelwingsholistics.com. You'll find my angelic healing there. Along with lots of other fun stuff that I do that you can book me for. So, where are we going next? We're going to our gem cards, our gemstone cards. I did actually wonder if Jem is here with us, my friend Jem. Are you here? Jem, are you here? You know who you are. She actually is a mirror. That's like her soul's path. She acts as a mirror to people and a guide and a coach. Okay. Right. Quartz. 3 of diamonds. So we've got amethyst at the top. That must be why a little amethyst heart wanted to stay with us from the last group. Let's put that there. And some rock quartz. Oh, you know what? I got a nice piece of that I could get out for us. Whoops. Calm down, guys. Stop leaping about all over the place. There we go. My little bitty quartzes. 5 of diamonds. It's all about the diamonds. Jem must be here with us because her business is literally called the Diamond Frequency or something. Actually, she'll have to correct me because I can never remember what it's called. Galena, lead ore. Isn't that interesting? I don't believe it. That's come out every single group and I've shuffled these so well. That's impossible. That's hilarious. Also have an ice lolly on the bottom. Who likes the round trees ice lollies that look just like that? Okay, that's actually tourmaline, but you know, ice lollies. This card has come out for every single pile. This Joker. So there must be a common thread, a common theme throughout the whole of the collective because it seems to be in all 3 of the piles. I can't believe that one's come out again. I've shuffled so carefully between each pile and yet that one still wants to come out. I have a zircon, which is lovely. It can also be a gorgeous imitation of diamond zircon. It's a very interesting gemstone, available in different colours. This one says lead ore galena. I've never actually seen that. Maybe it's not very safe to handle if it's lead, I don't know. Fascinating. It's kind of beautiful, but it's also very, very earthy and very heavy. It's almost like the opposite of selenite, almost like its exact opposite. Which is interesting because that's what you do. You show people their exact opposites by being the mirror. And amber. Wow. So interesting, we were talking about abundance and understanding abundance. Was that this group or was that part 2? Because my brain's just gone blank. Don't know. Because this is a card that talks about money and abundance. Obviously diamonds generally refer to finances, manifesting money, abundance, work, but this can be some uncertainty and worry or stress at number 3 when it comes to money. And the 5 of diamonds represents change. It's interesting that we have a zircon on a diamond because a zircon is a very beautiful representation and you can get like cubic zirconia, which is a beautiful replacement for a diamond. It's a very, very good mimic of a diamond. This is actually a real diamond here. This is a lab-grown diamond, which is why it's so beautiful and flawless. So if I can get the camera to... No, doesn't want to focus. Okay, fair enough. Probably too close. These are lab-grown diamonds on this ring. I have them here because I love them. But the zircon can be a brilliant replacement or alternative because obviously diamonds are very, very expensive. So this is a change in our finances. This is worry about finances or possible needing to be careful, needing to manifest change. And this is where the change comes. So there is a change in your fortunes here, a change in your finances. There may be a need to be a little bit resourceful okay, to work hard with the weight of the lead, or it could be a little bit of a stressful situation that you're going through at the moment, and the Seven of Hearts as well, bringing in some difficult emotions there. Because the Seven of Hearts, it's a disappointing energy. It can be a letdown in love, for example. It could be a breakup. It could be, the ending of a relationship, or not moving forwards with someone you were hoping to, not being able to, not being in the right place at the right time. I just get the French words, déception d'amour. So we could have some French speakers out there watching this one. That's for you. So it's a heavy, difficult energy with the lead ore there. Tricky. It might almost feel like everything's gone wrong in your life. You know, this could be near past. This could be where you feel you've failed and things have gone badly for you. Maybe you've lost some money, or you didn't get the job opportunity you wanted, and you didn't get the relationship you wanted. And you might be feeling really quite unlucky at the moment, which is very sad. Because you're not. Because the amber, this joker coming in here, is coming in to fortify you, coming in to bring you new hope, to bring you new vitality, and to remind you who you damn well are. Remember who you are, Pile 3. You are important. You are fantastic, powerful, divine beings in human form. Please remember that. That's very, very important. And I'm very drawn to bring in this crystal spray for you. This is Gold Grounding from Crystal Balance by my good friend Ginny Powell. She's an amazing lady and does all kinds of stuff with crystals. I buy crystals from her. This lovely skull came via her as well, and the ruby and fuchsite next to it. So this one, it is about grounding the new world energy and creating your future. So to me, it feels like it's going to empower you, this particular one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little spritz into the air around me, with the intention of it receiving whoever would like to receive this energy. So if you would like to receive the energy of this spray, drop a heart in the comments below, or just say yes, or put a little comment for me, or just intend for it to reach you. And that was 6 spritzes that I did there. So that's the connection with the heart. So we're connecting to heart energy here. But it does feel very much like... so I've got at least 5 people who had a spritz there as well as me. But it's a very high vibrational energy, about grounding the energy of the new golden age into the now, and about grounding your energy, so that you can manifest the things that you want, desire and deserve. Because I feel like you're a spiritual powerhouse, Pile 3, but it may be difficult for you to sometimes have that reflected in the real world, in the physical world. I feel like your great spiritual power and knowledge and all the gifts that you bring, you don't always get rewarded for them, or perhaps more often than not, you don't get rewarded for them in the physical plane. And sometimes it can feel like you're being punished, and you're like, but I'm doing all this spiritual work, I'm doing what I'm being prompted to do, why don't I have the money yet? Where the hell is it? And there is this reassurance here that it is coming, and the purpose of me spraying that for you is actually to help you to ground that energy here, so that you can convert it into currency that you can actually use in this lifetime, so that you will not burn out, so that you will have the money, the resources, the supplies, the pension, the home, the things that you need. You will not be left barefoot and ragged. Which may have been a worry for you, particularly if things have not been going well with your finances. Things will change, and they can change. And they can change quickly as well, because with a joker, all bets are off. You don't know what's going to happen. You might think you know exactly where you are right now, and it might look very dark. Or it might have been very challenging for you up until this point in your life. But all bets are off, because the joker's here. And it's amber, which gives you a big boost of fortitude, a big boost of self-esteem, self-worth as well, and warmth. The warmth of love, but also possibly physical warmth for some people. So you may be traveling somewhere warm on holiday, or maybe you're in the southern hemisphere and you're starting summer, in which case I'm very jealous, because it's December here in England and it's cold, and December in Australia is glorious. So again, Jem, I'm very jealous. I know you're over there. I don't know if she's going to watch this, but anywho. Right. If you are in Australia right now, whenever you're watching this, it doesn't matter. I'm very envious because I love it there. And I'm not. I'm stuck in England. Boo. So let's move on to the Crystal Magic Tarot. Let's get some cards here. some messages from your spirit guides, what they want you to know. They certainly want to lift you up. They want to lift your spirits, because we have the clear quartz rock crystal here, which is very powerful for clearing and cleansing energy, any kind of negativity. This will clear it out. You put it with your other crystals. This will cleanse the other crystals. Never needs cleansing all by itself, because it is self-cleaning. It's like literally the only crystal I think that you can say that about. And then we have this gorgeous amethyst heart here as well. And amethyst is basically a negativity sweep. It's like a Roomba for negativity in your energy. It will go round and it will suck it all up like a vacuum cleaner. And remove negativity, lift your mood. It helps with depression. It's a fantastic crystal to have. And alongside the clear quartz, it's almost like it will never get full. It will never need cleansing, because the clear quartz will keep doing it for you. So these would actually be a good pairing of crystals for you to have. If you have some amethyst and a piece of clear quartz, by all means find a way to carry them with you, like in a little bag or something like this in your handbag. Some people like to put crystals in their bra. I personally don't, because I think that's weird, but some people, some women do. You can carry them in your pockets. You could have a little key ring with those crystals on there. But I feel like those two in particular would be very helpful and healing for you right now, part 3. So, King of Swords. We had that in pile 2. Could have a connection to pile 2 here. 8 of Swords. Yeah, I'm not hugely surprised to see that. Yeah, because it's a difficult energy. And why wouldn't you be holding yourself back right now out of fear? Because it's terrifying. 10 of Wands, exhaustion. Yes, what did I say about burnout? Right at the beginning, when my light literally burnt out. I wish I could have caught that on camera. Actually, I don't, because I would have had to stop the video, because I nearly gassed myself with the plastic smell of the burning plastic. It's like, oh God, what gases are being released there? So I immediately opened the window as wide as I could to air the room, because I don't want to be breathing that in. 2 of Cups with ametrine. Lovely, one of my favourite crystals. And the 8 of Wands, yes, with blue lace agate. I have a lot of those crystals. We have sunstone for the 8 of Swords, aquamarine for the 10 of Swords. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous crystals. And black spinel, is it spinel? I don't know. I don't know that crystal personally. We've not met. We have not been acquainted. I've not made this crystal's acquaintance. So, wowzers. Okay, part 3. All right. So you may be feeling a little bit like life's done you dirty, or maybe that's how you were feeling, because it is in the near past position. Maybe you feel you have been very unlucky, very unfortunate, and it has made you very cautious, I think, which is perhaps why you need the amber here right now. That could be another crystal for you to, it's not technically a crystal as it's fossilized tree sap, but perhaps a piece of jewellery with amber might be helpful for you right now. Who remembers when amber jewellery was all the rage in the 90s? Because I do. I still have my earrings that I bought. I love them. Amber was a really big thing in the 90s. I don't know why. Energetically, there must have been something going on back then. So I remember I really wanted some, and I didn't get to have some until a couple of years later when I found some in a second-hand shop. I found these earrings in like a jeweller, and they cost me like £20, I think, 200 francs or something at the time, because I was in France. But, yeah. Anyway, that's another story. 8 of Swords. Yeah. Whew. Where are you holding yourself back in your life out of fear, out of worry, but also trying to be very responsible, trying to be sensible? It doesn't feel like you're holding yourself back for the wrong reasons. It feels like it's very much for the right reasons. But it might not be the right thing to be doing right now. It's like doing the wrong thing for the right reasons, like being very, very excessively cautious, but only because you've had your fingers burned before, you know. Yeah, and feeling very tired and exhausted. 10 of Wands is such an exhausting energy. We are burnt out at the 10 of Wands. Maybe you did allow yourself to get to that point, or maybe you're nearing it right now, which is why you're having to say no to things, even if they're what you want. Having to say no to the new job, to the new relationship, to the new activity, just because you don't have the physical or the emotional resources for it right now. And that's absolutely valid if that's the case. Because remember, I'm pulling on, we've got lots of strings of energy here. This is a group reading. I've got lots of different people's energies coming in, so not all of the messages will be for everyone. Some of them will. but only take the ones that are relevant to you. Okay. Oh, that's a tough energy. I feel bad for you, part 3 there. That's a tough one. But the good news is that change is coming, and it comes in with support of a friend with the 2 of Cups at Ametrine. It comes in with a very supportive and loving friend. Friendship, I mean, could be a partner, could be a boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, partner, but it's the element of the relationship that is important is the friendship that comes in here, I want to say. Somebody comes in to lift you up and to help you move forwards, and then you can get going again, because the 8 of Wands is a very fast energy. So somebody helps to come in and lift you up so that you can start moving forwards again with renewed vigor. Beautiful. There is this very loving friendship and kindness that comes in to help and support you. And I'm not surprised that it's sitting on top of the amber here, because the amber is a very supportive stone. It fortifies us, it gives us strength, it gives us courage, it reassures us that we are okay, that we are enough. It gives us a feeling of self-worth, of self-satisfaction, self-positivity, and self-actualization. Wow. And that's where you're moving to, part 3. You are moving to this new stage of your life where things do get back on track, but in a much better way than they were before. Very, very positive messages for you here. Let's get a couple of little angel cards to get some themes. Presence and resilience. Wow, look at that. Let me turn my camera down a bit. There we go. So you can see this. Your divine presence, feeling very much empowered in the present moment, feeling in the divine presence of God, Goddess as well. But also it brings in this sense of resilience. Maybe you have been exhausted. And there's no criticism of not feeling resilient, because we can't be resilient all the time. Some of us don't have the right experiences growing up to be resilient. Some of us have never had a chance to grow resilience. Okay, and that's not your fault. We don't criticize people here. We just observe. But there is this sense of feeling stronger for the future, feeling more adept, more capable, and more supported by the universe. So I feel like people, places, things are going to come in to support you very shortly. I want to say in the next 6 or 7 months, part 3. That's quite a specific time scale. But I do feel like people are going to be coming in to help you. Particularly this one slightly closer relationship, which could be a romantic relationship, because it is the 2 of Cups. Let's just bring in some astrology signs. Got my astrology dice here. I want to bring in some zodiac signs connected to this particular friendship, partnership, relationship. See what we have there. We have Pisces energy, Sagittarius energy, Taurus energy, and Libra energy. So those could be the sun sign, moon sign, or ascendant of this person or people coming in to assist you. There's lots of Venus energy there, because Venus rules both Libra and Taurus. Lovely, lovely messages. Okay, I'm pleased with that, because it really feels like you've been through it. I'm hoping for a lot of you this part is over. But for some of you it may not be. So, you know, we're all at different stages, different phases, and you'll find this reading when it relates to you. So, right, we're going to Oracle cards next. I have the Oracle of the Fairies for you. I feel like I've forgotten something, but I don't know what it is. I'm going to see what comes forward, because I've got this nagging feeling like there's something I've forgotten, there's something I've forgotten, there's something I have to do. Which is weird, because I don't think I've missed anything. I think I've pulled the same cards, the same sequence as the other piles. And yet it still feels like I've missed something. That's odd, isn't it? Let's see if it comes to me. Maybe you have a sense of having missed something or missed out on something. Music. Ask for help. And inspiration. There we go. That's lovely. So lots of green here. So connection to the heart chakra, but also connection to Archangel Raphael, I want to say here. And he is the heart healer. He is the head of all the healing angels. That's what they do. So I want to say that Archangel Raphael may be wishing to work with you. You may have actually asked Archangel Raphael for help. And he is here with you. So try not to worry. So angels are celestial beings who protect everyone, and the fairies say now is the time for you to ask for angelic assistance. There we go. Ask your angels. They will happily step in and help you if you need that help. If you're feeling down and out, you can't see the way to go, just literally ask them to come in. And there's no wrong way to do that either. You can literally just say it in your mind or out loud. Angels, please help me with whatever the issue is. I don't know what to do. Go into as much or as little detail as you want to, and then say thank you and assume that it's done, because it is. Angels are fantastic when you need help. I mean, they will literally create miracles, and it can be really quite miraculous and astonishing what the angels can do in certain situations. Sometimes, obviously, the help will arrive on time. And I've experienced this a couple of times in my life where I've been in more than one life or death situation. And I've been protected by angels, and it's quite something to experience. It's really quite something. Yeah. One time was a car crash where I came very close to being killed. And another time I was actually on my own in my flat, all by myself. There's no one else there, no one to help me. And I started to choke quite badly on some food I was eating. And I'm a first aider, and I knew I was in trouble. And there was no one there to help me. I had no way to get whatever was in my throat out of my throat. And I was reaching the point where I could feel all the air starting to disappear from my lungs. And I was like, oh shit, I am in trouble. I need someone to basically, do the Heimlich maneuver on me. There's no one here. There's no way I can do it on myself. There's no chairs I can throw myself onto to try and, push my diaphragm up. And I was really starting to get frightened, looking around me like there's no one else here. I can't call anyone for help. What am I going to do? I'm going to die. And I just went, angels, help. And split second later, that blockage was gone. Don't ask me where it went. I didn't feel a thing. It was gone. That food that was stuck in my throat just disappeared. And I wouldn't have believed if it hadn't happened to me. Well, I might have done actually, but it was astonishing. It was gone. It was just gone. And I was like, wow. If you ever needed any evidence that angels exist, that was a pretty heavy duty first-hand experience right there. That was quite astonishing. And that was back in 2012. That happened to me. That was very powerful. Very powerful experience, had a big impact on me. I always believed in angels and I've worked with them so much, but to see them actually in action like that is quite astonishing, to experience something like that. So never be afraid to ask. They will help you with anything. It doesn't have to be life or death, Obviously, they'll probably react a bit quicker if it's life and death because they're always on time and divine timing is the thing. But it was instant, gone. And I was like, wow, how did that happen? So anyway, music. Listen carefully, for there may be a message in the music you hear. Music can lift your soul, rekindle memories, and charm fairies to your door. Lovely. So there is a message here that music is very healing for you. Make sure you're listening to the right kind. Make sure it's not too negative, because we can end up actually manifesting negative energies and negative things in our lives if we listen to certain music. And there are many songs that I avoid because the words are just so negative and the messages are so dark, and I don't want to be repeating that because then I start manifesting whatever it is that they're talking about, and we don't want that. So that's something to just bear in mind. And inspiration. Be prepared, as you'll soon receive a visit from the fairy of inspiration. Yes. Come dusk or dawn, she can call at any time. So this feels important, like your next project, the next thing you're going to do, maybe in work or in your creative life. There's inspiration coming. So if you're not sure what it is you're supposed to be doing right now, don't worry, you will get your answers. Your answers will come in and they will be very, very clear and very individual just for you, but you will feel excited and inspired and energized when they come in. So don't worry about whether you'll be up to it when it arrives. The the fairy of inspiration and your angels of inspiration will show up exactly on time. Divine timing is very much at play in your life pile 3, so I don't want you to worry about that. You're going to get through this. You are more resilient and stronger than you imagine, and you have more support than you could ever dream of. So I hope that was helpful to you, my pile 3s. Please remember there may also be messages for you in pile 1 or pile 2 if you're drawn to either or both of those. Please go check them out. There are also many other readings on this channel for you to look at. Please remember to like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can also hype this video if you liked it, which you can do on a mobile device, which is a new feature on YouTube, which tells other people that it's worth watching and puts me on a leaderboard. So I would love it if you feel inclined to do that. Until I see you again, please remember to take very, very good care of yourselves. Bye-bye, pile 3.